for baseball in South Philadelphia. The Braves are ready to kick the scrapple out of the Phillies. It's game 3 of our series, and the Braves got to find a way to score some runs. Featured youngsters Aaron Nola for the Phillies, Matt Whistler go to the slab for the Braves. It's a perfect night for a ball game. We're glad you're with us. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip. Welcome back to the ballpark. Rough night last night for Atlanta, but a big highlight. Freddie Freeman. A couple of big milestones in his major league career have happened on this beautiful park in Philly.
I was just thinking that most of the time you don't have to kick anybody to get the scrapple out of them. But anyway, be that as it may, Freddie Freeman had a big night. And home run number 1 in his career here off Roy Halladay. And last night, his career home run number 100 off of Buchanan and went the other way. And listening to Freddie talk after the game, he said, you know, it was a good sign that I hit it to left field. I feel good about that, knowing that I went the other way. He's third on the all-time Braves list in terms of being the youngest to reach 100 home runs. Andrew Jones, the youngest, at 23 years and 62 days. Quite remarkable for him. But for Freddie, maybe a sign of good things to come in the way he's swinging the bat.
That, of course, our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot. A different challenge for the Braves tonight. Aaron Nola, the number 1 pick for the Phillies, a man they've never seen, and Matt Whistler goes for Atlanta. He's off to a rip-roaring start at 5-1 so far on the year. It's a night for the rookies, hopefully a night for the Braves bats. Game 3 between the Braves and Phillies is coming right up.
Low price every day.
Beautiful night in Philadelphia. It's game 3 of the series. It's game number 9 on the road trip. And the Braves trying to snap a 5-game losing streak at the hands of the red-hot Philadelphia Phillies. Freddie Gonzalez's Academy Sports and Outdoors lineup. Markakis, Maven, and Freeman the first 3. A.J. Przinsky back behind the plate. Adonis Garcia bats 5th. Jace Peterson 6th out at second base. And the bottom part of the order features Andrelton Simmons, Yuri Perez, and 5-1 Matt Whistler. And he'll square off with another young right-hander, Aaron Nola, a guy the Phillies are very, very excited about.
I'm excited about this pitching matchup. 2 of the better young right-handers in the National League, both 22 years old. Nola out of LSU, where he was the SEC Pitcher of the Year just a little over a year ago. and was a first-team All-American. 7th pick in the draft last year by the Phillies. You saw his numbers this year combined in the minor leagues, real good. Last year 4-3, a .293 after he made his debut in professional baseball. 90 to 92 fastball, curveball, and a changeup. And the reports are that he can work both sides of the plate, Chip. He's got good command. He's only walked 3 batters in his first 13 innings. But you're right, the Phillies are extremely high on this guy.
As we said, the Phillies playing great baseball. They've won 11 of 13 after the break. Philadelphia had a terrific athletic game defensively last night. And they will try to throw more of the same at the Braves here tonight with Ashe, Herrera, and Brown in the outfield. Franco and Howard on the corners. Galvis and Hernandez up the middle. And young Cameron Rupp once again behind the plate. Philadelphia 11-2 after the break. They've won 7 of 8 at home. They've finally gotten to the 40 win mark on the season. And all the people I've talked to say that that man, Pete Mackanin, has done a tremendous job as the interim manager for the Phillies, replacing Hall of Famer Ryne Sandberg.
I think he's made it real simple, Chip. I don't think he complicates their heads too much when it comes to, being ready to play. Stays out of their way, and so far so good for him in terms of results.
His Phillies are 25-26 so far here at home, and they'll look at Nick Markakis leading things off for Atlanta here in the top of the first. Happy Saturday night, everybody. Hope you're with friends and family, and thanks for joining us tonight at Citizens Bank Park. Last minute batting glove adjustment for Markakis. Now he's ready to go. Nick's had a good road trip at the plate, hitting .324 so far in St. Louis, Baltimore, and Philadelphia. He's got 11 hits. And the first from Nola. Good live fastball, and we're underway. Warm, breezy night again, 88 degrees. And Markakis jumps all over that pitch and hammers it toward the bullpen. That ball is back. That ball is gone. A home run for Nick Markakis. And the Braves have jumped in front 1-0.
Holy smokes. His second of the year, and folks, that one went a long way. Got his hips clear, got his hands inside the baseball, and this one jumped.
Well, if you look at the early numbers for Nola, that's something the Phillies do have to have some concerns about. That's the 4th home run this kid's given up now in less than 14 innings of big league work. And a leadoff shot from Markakis sets it up for Cameron Maybin. It's 1-0 Atlanta.
What a good lightning bolt to send through the Braves dugout. Get everybody going tonight.
Nola missed, down and away. That went off the plate. 3 balls, no strikes. Cameron's hit a bit of a dry spell. 172 average over his last 16 games. And a 271 average. Took the strike. It's Gabe Morales behind the plate, by the way. 3-1. Served into the seats. The count now full. So Nick Markakis, a leadoff home run.
Gotta like that, don't you?
You bet.
Instant offense, first batter.
Maybin bounces toward Franco at third, and the throw to first is perfect. 1 out.
Despite the struggles of the Braves in recent days, Fredi Gonzalez was complimentary to his players last night after the defeat, saying nobody quit, everybody's still playing hard, everybody's hustling. He referred to Cameron Maybin hustling down the line to avoid a double play right before Freeman hit his homer. And they've had back-to-back nights of double-digit hits. They just can't get the big hit with runners in scoring position lately when they need it.
During the 5-game losing streak, the Braves have a grand total of 5 hits with a runner in scoring position.
That won't get it done, will it?
But this man's in scoring position when he stands at the plate. Freddie Freeman. And he pulls one foul. Home run number 100 in his career. Was the 14th of the season. And remember, Freddie missed virtually a month with a bad wrist. 1-1 pitch. A little off. It's 1-2.
Now back-to-back changeups. The first one wasn't very good. That was a beauty. That's another thing about his fastball that we were told about, is that he's got good sinking action on it and make it run in on left-handers at times and certainly away from them. The tops out at about 92 or 93.
There's another shot headed toward the bullpen. This one's high. This one's deep. This one, though, is off the base of the wall. Freddie Freeman cruises into second with a 1-out double.
Look for him to go on a tear. Change up, stayed up, and got lit up. Almost out of here. Pulls it a little bit. That's out of here. But the fact that he hit the ball hard the other way last night, I think, gave him a lot of confidence about the work he's been putting in and how it's beginning, his swing is beginning to come around.
A.J. Pierzynski's fresh off a 3-hit night last night. His average at .294 for the year. And that was pulled well foul. Strike one. 7th 3-hit game this year for Pierzynski. He has 18 multi-hit games this year. And that's too tight. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Nola got a ton of run support in his last start. That was his first big league win against the Cubs. He beat them 11-5. 7 innings, 2 hits, 5 runs. He did walk 4. Gave up a couple of homers in that contest.
And now Rupp has spotted something. He's out to calm down young Aaron Nola. First round draft pick last year, in the big leagues this year. That is a rapid rise for the former LSU star. His sophomore and junior years at LSU, he was 23-2. He's popping the glove, and it's now 2-2. Breaking ball is hammered toward the gap in right center. Here comes Freeman, long-legged around third. A.J. Pierzynski drives home Freeman. It's 2-0.
Breaking ball that he kind of one-handed. He was fooled, but he kept his hands back long enough to make good contact, and the Braves are on the board first tonight. What a good switch that is. Breaker. He just had to reach down and get it. Wasn't a bad pitcher's pitch. A.J. just spoiled it and picked up an RBI, and he's hit innings straight.
Yeah, there's that elusive hit with a runner in scoring position for the Braves. 2 runs on 3 hits, and they're not done yet. Here's Adonis Garcia. That was fouled away. Strike 1.
I was talking to Freddie Gonzalez. We both were last night after the game about Garcia and how the Braves came to get him in the organization after he'd been released by the Yankees. And there were some rave reviews coming in from Eddie Perez when Garcia was playing in Venezuela about him being able to swing the bat. And he certainly can do that. He's played some good third base too.
So he's getting a chance over the final 2 months to show what he can do up here. 2 quick strikes. And he laid off. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Didn't get the fastball. And that's Nola's first strikeout of the game. 2 outs. Krasinski's still at first.
He's real close to a strikeout an inning so far in his first 2 big league starts. Able to elevate that one.
Jace Peterson has a hit in each of the first 2 games of the series. He's hitting .242. And it's a little low. 1 ball, no strikes. That's into the seats and an even count. We had 21,000 fans here on Thursday night, 29,000 plus here last night when Pat Burrell was inducted into the Phillies Wall of Fame. A lot of Phillies greats were on the field before tonight's affair. Good to see him. Bouncing ball to second. Hernandez has it. And Nola's out of the first. Markakis led off with a solo homer. A.J. Pierzynski with a run-scoring hit. And Matt Wisler will take a 2-0 lead into the bottom half of the first. Appreciated by a major league starting pitcher, and the way Matt Wisler has thrown this year, well, 2 may be just enough.
Outstanding work so far. He's 5-1 with a 3.43 ERA, and in July, I mean, he may be a nominee for the July Pitcher of the Month in the National League with those kinds of numbers. This will be his first appearance against the Phillies. His 4 keys to pitching success tonight. Well, number 1, first inning. He's already gotten a couple of runs to work with, but the Braves have been falling behind early. Get through the first inning tonight unscathed. And he gives up a lot of fly ball outs. This is a ballpark where fly balls go out. So try your best to limit those tonight and be in control from the start.
First Philly he'll face is Cesar Hernandez, their second baseman. And Hernandez took ball 1. What a dramatically different looking Phillies team it is this year. With all due respect to the great career of Chase Utley and Jimmy Rollins. Talking to Freddie Gonzalez about them before the game, he was very impressed at how much more athletic this Phillies team is. They were making plays all over the diamond last night. And Freddie Galvis put on a show at short. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And back to the screen.
They're athletic and they are younger. That's some guys who cover ground.
Funny how those things go hand in hand, don't they?
Yeah. Numbers against the Braves, and Galvis both hitting over 400 against Atlanta for the year.
Wide over short, and that's headed for the gap. Maben will try to cut it off the warning track, but Hernandez with a leadoff double. And here come the fighting Phils.
Yet another extra base hit for the Phillies. And this guy is just as hot as it gets against the Atlanta Braves. 5 for 9 in the series. And hitting everything, it seems, right on the button.
And here's Odubel Herrera. Herrera batted 5th in game 1. He batted 2nd last night. 2 hits, 2 runs in the series. They're trying to get Hernandez to third base with nobody out. And he'll do exactly that. Peterson charges, productive at bat. 1 man down. The Phillies Academy Sports lineup features the H-men at the top, Hernandez and Herrera. Then it's Franco, Howard. Dominic Brown has gotten hot. He's homered in the last 2 games. Joe mentioned Freddie Galvis, 17 hits against the Braves this year. Then Ashe, Rupp, and Nola at the bottom of the lineup card.
See if Whistler can make a pitch here and prevent that run from scoring with 1 out.
A little low, 1 ball, no strikes.
After that pitch, the Braves moved Jace Peterson over to third base side of second.
That's how Whistler pitched him, but he missed. Franco 6th among National League rookies in batting average. He has the 3rd most home runs and the 6th most RBIs. And he flies toward left. Yuri Perez will drift back. He'll make the grab. And it's a sacrifice fly that brings home Hernandez. ABC baseball by the Phillies. Something that they've been doing a lot during this hot run. And the Braves lead is cut in half.
Yuri Perez has shown a real good arm in his time with the Braves. He was too deep to really have a legitimate shot at getting Hernandez there, but then it looked like he almost dropped the ball.
Garcia will move over and station himself in shallow right for Ryan Howard. He had a 4 RBI night last night. His first 4 RBI game of the year. Check swing strike. A back-to-back series, the Braves are going to see 2 of the hottest RBI men in the National League, Ryan Howard and Buster Posey. Howard's knocked in 31 runs in his last 33 games. So has Buster Posey. Launched out of play. It's 0-2.
From that third base camera, this one right here that we're on, when Ryan Howard extends the bat out with his right arm, check out the muscle on his forearm. Reminds me a lot of you. See that thing that's sticking up real high? That
I don't have one of those.
That reminds me of you, and that I've never seen it on you.
Yeah, right.
That is a strong guy.
Ryan Howard out of suburban St. Louis, West County, Lafayette High School. That's downstairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. $18 homers, 36 runs. And he's able to check his swing. And those big forearms are what allowed him to do that.
Well, and he's got himself in a position to maybe get a fastball too, something he's been waiting on.
Launched. Maybe to play it on a hop. Second hit for the Phillies in the inning.
He got the count. He got the pitch he wanted. Able to extend his arms, which is what he likes to do. Get the ball out away from him. Couldn't quite split the gap, but hit it hard.
And a suddenly resurgent Dominic Brown is the batter. Brown's hit homers in back-to-back games for the first time since 2013. And Whistler knew that. And delivered a strike. Braves 2, Phillies 1, first inning.
Both of these pitchers are similar in the way they go about their business, and both have been touched up in the first inning.
AJ held it, didn't get the call. A bouncer up toward short, and Simmons handles a tricky bounce, and that retires the side. The Phillies get a sac fly from Michael Franco. 2-1 Atlanta heading to the second. Tools from the dugout. Newly acquired Braves off to good starts.
Both these guys came over from the Mets in the deals for Johnson and Uribe. Both pitched last night, both won. Whalen with Carolina, 7 innings, 1 run, a walk, and 7 strikeouts. Gant into the 6th inning, only 1 earned run with 7 strikeouts himself. So welcome to the organization and a nice start by both.
Braves have got to draft a young minor league pitcher with the last name Willie. They would have Whalen and Willie in the same pitching staff. Should that be good?
That'd be great.
As Andrelton Simmons leads off for the Braves, 7 hits on the road trip, .256 season average. I mentioned the win for Aaron Nola. Certainly a great highlight for him, but he lost his first game in as difficult a way as a National League pitcher can lose it. His first big league game came against the Tampa Bay Rays. He lost 1-0. And he gave up a home run to the pitcher, Nate Carnes, in interleague play.
Blame his offense.
To second, Cesar Hernandez is there, and he's got it. Hitters usually say sometimes you got to throw a shutout, don't you? It's his first big league game. And Yuri Perez is coming up.
He was pitching great, not just for his respective clubs, but he was pitching great at home. Combined between AA and AAA, he was 6-1 with an .083 ERA in his 9 home starts. .083. Gave up 2 in the first tonight.
That's a little low. One ball, 1 strike. That buzzed the tower. 2-1 your count. And a tapper back by the Braves on deck circle. We've got a special treat tonight. Johnny Gomes has agreed to put on the microphone for us down in the Braves dugout. He'll join us in the 3rd inning. If you haven't heard Johnny before, you're going to love him. He will tell it like it is. And he has made a big difference with this ball club. Base hit to left as Perez reaches out and tallies the 4th Atlanta hit. And that'll bring up Whistler.
That's got 1 sacrifice bunt already in his first 12 at bats. Probably trying to put one down here again.
3 2-strike hits for the Braves among the 4 they have so far tonight. Sonola's gotten ahead but hasn't been able to put them away. And a strike. Fans here in Philly will be paying close attention to the scoreboard in Arlington, Texas tonight. Cole Hamels debuts for the Rangers. Texas beat the Giants and Madison Bumgarner last night. Runner goes. He got a great jump, and that one's all the way to the backstop. And an easy advance by Perez. That'll be a steal. And the count even a ball and a strike.
And the Phillies, well, he missed second base, but the Phillies had to hustle back because the third baseman was charging. Nobody to cover third.
There's a strike. 1-2. One of the many great things about the National League East is all of the young pitching that this division is stockpiling. That just missed. Close. Phillies have Nola. They have Adam Morgan, who we'll see tomorrow.
Nancy Bank Fox tracks. One on the house for Whistler.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Then you think about the Marlins with Kohler and Jose Fernandez. You know all about the Mets and their pitching staff. Washington and what the Braves are starting to put together. It makes you wonder if anybody's ever going to score an Eastern Division play. It's the quality starting pitching. 3-2. Swing and a miss. Might have swung the ball 4. And that's strikeout number 2 for Nola. 2 outs.
But based on what you're saying, and I agree with you, it would be really something if a hitter from the National League East won a batting title.
Right. That's an excellent point.
With all the games that you've got to play within your division, with all this pitching, it's tough going.
Well, D. Gordon's got a shot. He's second in the National League. At 331. Bryce Harper's third at 330.
Says a lot. What kind of year they're having.
And 2 dramatically different offensive players. The man that leads the National League by a healthy margin is Paul Goldschmidt of the Diamondbacks. He's hitting 349 in Arizona. Good start for Markakis tonight. He led off with his 2nd home run of the season. Laced foul out of play. It's 0-2. This is game number 104 for the Braves. And with virtually no offseason for Nick Markakis, pretty remarkable the numbers he's been able to put up for the Atlanta team. No, he hasn't hit a lot of home runs, but he's been out there every day. Leads the team in hits. Is 3rd on the club in runs. 1st in doubles. 1st in walks. And leads in on base percentage. And that's exactly why the Braves went out and got him. A reliable man that Freddie can pencil in the lineup every single day.
Solid contact.
And Joe, if he's doing this, and I say this with all due respect, if he's doing this with less than Nick Markakis-like strength, it makes you feel good about what his potential is with an offseason of full recovery going into next year.
And that's why I've been saying that I don't think we've seen him at his best. Kind of wait till you see me next year type attitude.
No balls, 2 strikes. And a cue shot right back to the mound. And the peg to first is in time, and that'll retire the side. Freddie Galvis, Cody Ashe, and Cameron Rupp are coming up for the Phillies.
it's going to come down to one final swing for Pete Rose. You know what's happening. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Struck him out. The hitting streak is over.
How great is it to hear the voice of the professor, Pete Van Wieren, describe one of the great iconic moments of Braves history at the old ballpark. Pete Rose's National League record-tying 44-game hit streak was stopped not only by Gene Garber, but 24-year-old Larry McWilliams, who made his 4th big league start that night.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Braves won that game 16-4. It was Bobby Cox's first year as the Braves manager, and Braves weren't good. They were averaging about 11,000 fans a game. The first 2 games of the series with the Reds in town drew 76,000 fans. That's fouled back and out of play
because of the hitting streak. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the game, they had a press conference in the bowels of the ballpark, and there's Pete Rose of the Reds. This one's bounced off the pitcher's glove. Simmons fields, throws on the run, and got his man. Round number 1. Somebody asked during the press conference, Pete, if Larry McWilliams was sitting next to you, would you know it was him? And he was sitting right there. He looked at this 20-year-old fuzzy-faced little kid, or fuzzy-faced looking kid. And then Pete was asked, well, now that it's over, what are you feeling? He said, well, the best part is I won't have to talk to any of you blankety blanks anymore about the hitting streak.
I also remember reading something about Pete's reaction to that ending the game, and he said you'd have thought the Braves won the pennant the way they were jumping around when I struck out.
They didn't have a whole lot to play for back in the late 70s, did they? Gene Garber threw back-to-back changeups to strike out Pete Rose and end the streak. And it's interesting the name Larry McWilliams comes up because there's only one other Brave besides Larry McWilliams to win 5 games in his first 7 big league starts. And he's the man on the mound for Atlanta right now, Matt Whistler. There's a strike to Cody Ashe. Ashe started the year as the Phillies' 3rd baseman. They sent him down to AAA in early May to make him a left fielder. Played 15 games with the Lehigh Valley Iron Pigs and has come back, and tonight makes his 44th appearance in the outfield as a Philly. A .250 hitter, but very little luck against Atlanta pitching. Fly ball center, Maben retreats, but he'll have room. And there's one of those fly ball outs Joe was talking about. Second of the game allowed by Whistler, and 2 men are down.
And the point is that he can still give up a lot of fly ball outs. You just got to get him to hit him to that part of the ballpark, because all too often we've seen just pop flies go out of here.
I can't remember the distance or the year, but didn't they move the fences back here a little bit and left? Or I
think it was a fraction, yes.
With the flower beds or something to move the fans back?
Yeah, just along that left field wall.
I mean, when this park opened and we saw the Phillies and Ryan Howard just flip his wrists and hit pop-ups that were going out of the ballpark, we were amazed. How's anybody going to survive in this place?
There have always been some questions about how far it really is to left field to straightaway left, because in left center there's a sign that says 374, and just on the other side of an advertisement it's 387.
And then down the line it's 334. I don't know if it goes 40 feet closer to the pole, does it?
Well, look at this.
Yeah,
that's 13 feet different. I don't think so.
One ball, 2 strikes for Cameron Rupp, the catcher. Well, every new ballpark steals something from the established places like Wrigley or Fenway Park. Maybe that's what they did with regards to the Green Monster in left. Nobody really knows how close it is to home plate.
Maybe we should come out early tomorrow and step it off, walk through the sprinklers.
Did he go? No. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Long road trip ends tomorrow. And then we're home Monday night for the Giants. 2-2 pitch.
Not getting any swings at that breaking ball. I couldn't get Howard to chase it. Everybody's kind of checking their swing on it. Must be starting a little bit too far off the plate to begin with.
Strike 3 called. 3 up, 3 down for Whistler. Maben, Freeman, and A.J. Brzezinski are coming up, and so's Johnny Gomes. Can't wait to talk to him. We'll do that after this. Here he is, Johnny Gomes in all his glory down in the Braves dugout. Johnny, thanks for joining us. And I got to tell you, I'm glad you're still here. I really am glad you're still here.
I'm glad too. I'm loyal and grateful for the Braves coming and get me this offseason, signed a contract, and definitely want to honor it.
Nice to get off to a good start tonight too, with you guys scuffling a little bit on offense over the road trip to get out and get the lead early tonight. Maybe that'll help everybody relax and get after it.
Yeah, I sure hope so. I always say the the pitcher's best friend, is obviously run support, and to jump on that in the first. Nick Markakis going deep, that's awesome. Generating that 2-out RBI as well.
Aaron Nola's ready to go to work. Cameron Maben's the batter. He bounced out his first time up. Took a breaking ball for a strike. All right, Johnny, here we are. It's August 1st. We know what the Braves have done as far as the trade deadline is concerned. We know what the fans have thought. We know what John Hart thinks. We hear from Freddie Gonzalez. You're one of the 25 men on this ball club. What is your take on what the Braves have done? I saw your quotes in the paper, and from what I'm reading, you're on board with what John Hart's doing.
Yeah, you just look at the active roster today. I think we have nice. They're good up the middle, I'll tell you what.
They sure are.
I think we have six active guys right now that we've received back in trades, whether it's this offseason or as of recent. So when you're talking about rebuilding to get 6 guys in the big leagues back that fast, shows the talent level that John Hart and crew are going after. And all 6 of those guys, I think, that are here right now are going to be, stones, in the Braves organization for a while.
Has it been hard, John, for you guys as the veterans to help mesh all these guys together that come in fresh?
Yeah, there's, the meshing side of it. Then you got the other side of just teaching the baseball IQ and teaching the game. There he is.
He looks like he's getting back into form.
Yep. Yeah, that's awesome right there. 2 hits already for the kid. But yeah, just I mean, meshing's one side of it, but what the other side of it is just learning the game, learning how to be a professional, learning how to prepare yourself is something that I take pride in, and these guys here are definitely sponges. And you can teach all you want, but if they're not going to listen, it makes it a little difficult. And these guys are doing great.
You said in this article that your imprint on the team is a lot more important than the stats on the back of your baseball card. Do you feel that you and the other veterans on this club have helped transform the Braves clubhouse and made it a better place than it was when you walked in the door in Orlando this spring?
I sure hope so. You saw things, as far as last night, Freddie Freeman hit that big home run, but, let's talk about, Cam Maven beating out that double play to extend the inning.
Right.
That's the stuff that, has to get praised right now. Taking the extra base, baseball IQ, hitting behind the runner, hitting in front of the runner. Simmons and Jace Peterson getting on the same page. Twerks, things like that hopefully should create an identity here and last for a long time.
A.J. Pierzynski's the batter. A ball at a strike. Freeman at first with one man out. 2-1 Braves. So we know where the Braves are right now. You also said in the article in 2012 the A's were 14.5 games back in mid-August. You led the division for 4 innings and went to the playoffs. You're obviously the kind of guy, and I love this part too. So there's an X by your name. You're still in this thing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's 2 resumes that you build, throughout, a Major League Baseball game. One is the team's win-loss, how you won the game and how you lost the game, and the other is the individual resume, as far as how you want to be seen from the other side and how you want your teammates to view you. As long as these guys are playing the game the right way, limit the mistakes, that's how you win ball games. So.
Bouncing ball slowly out toward Hernandez. The flip to short for 1 and safe at first. There's AJ.
There you go.
There's that hustle you're talking about.
There's the oldest catcher in the game busting down the line, and our big hot shot first baseman breaking up too. Things like that. These guys got to pay attention to. And there we go right there, extending the inning right here for Garcia. So we'll see what happens.
Isn't that rewarding though, Johnny? I mean, not that guys weren't doing it last year or in years past, but when you see the game played the right way, as someone who I know appreciates that, and that make you feel good?
Makes me feel great. Getting the 10 years in, now, having a little piece of input on these guys and then watch it get exposed in between the lines makes you kind of feel like the proud father, if you will.
Well, you're old enough.
Right? Yeah, but not old enough to be AJ's dad by any means, and there we are right there, the oldest catcher in the game, chasing down a 300 average, and he's also chasing down all-time games caught behind the dish. So, it's pretty cool to play with him as well.
Well, Chip just talked about what you guys did with a huge rally in Oakland, but with 58 games left, I know it's not acceptable to play out the string. It is important to show up and do that work you're talking about to prepare for every night.
Yeah, absolutely. These guys, I won't allow them to get their head in the clouds. There's 650 active major leaguers in the world right now. So you can't get your head in the clouds and take that for granted. One of the hardest things to get in this game is the opportunity. And, a lot of these guys in the dugout are getting an opportunity. So you got to take that opportunity, and grab it, squeeze it, hold on to it, and run with it.
No balls, 2 strikes for Adonis Garcia. And that one sweeps away and outside. 1-2 the count.
What time do you get to the park every day?
I'm one of the first guys here. Not that that needs to get applauded, but I get cabin fever in the hotel room. When I'm on the road, don't got my 3 kids to run around with. So I get here pretty early. At the same time, I got a lot of maintenance to do, and I do a lot of studying on my own, and at the same time do a lot of studying to help these guys out.
Johnny, can you stick around for another half inning?
What an honor.
The honor's ours, man. Appreciate it. 2-1 Atlanta. I think he meant that. We'll find out when we come back. TU versus trivia question. Johnny Gomes is going to help us answer this question. Little did we know Freddie Freeman was 0 for 5 in trivia while he was on the disabled list, Johnny. And the question is, over the last 11 years, Ryan Howard is one of 2 left-handed hitters with 350 or more homers and over 1,000 runs batted in. Wow. Who's the other left-handed hitter over the last 11 seasons with those kinds of numbers?
David Ortiz.
I like it.
It's a great answer. What was Big Papi like as a teammate?
He was unbelievable, to tell you the truth. There's certain qualities that kind of separate superstars from the ball team, because it is that hard to be a superstar in my eyes in the games. Some of the ones, they don't worry about you, they don't pay much attention to you, because there's just that much effort into being that good at this game, the game of struggles, if you will. But he was so in tune to all other 24 guys on the team. Strikeout right there. Got to strike the pitcher out, right?
Got to.
Yeah, he was in tune to the whole roster. You watch the highlights over there. You hit a home run. There's David Ortiz on the top step. There's David Ortiz in the batting cage, and he'll help anyone out.
I got a question for you, and I'm not trying to ask you to provide any bulletin board material.
Yep.
But as you look at the National League East, Central, and West, which team has impressed you the most? Which team to you is the most complete club that you've seen from a player's perspective?
The National League?
Yeah.
I tell you what, from playing with Yoenis Cespedes, I think the Mets are pretty lucky to acquire that guy. Granted, it is a rental, and this game's won and lost for the last 100-plus years on pitching. And the guys they're running out there are pretty impressive. Behind good pitching, you need good defense. So, if they do that, they'll be pretty good. Barring injury, of course. But they're going to make a run. They're obviously in second place. So look at that.
Nice pick. And a nice throw.
He's been a pleasant addition. We didn't know a whole lot about him, and Braves just got him this spring. So for him to come up and do what he's done already, even on this road trip, it's been impressive.
Yeah, that's it right there. Like I was talking about earlier, the opportunity. He's got it in your run with it.
Nice play to his right, backhand. And a perfect throw. 2 quick outs. And here's Odubel Herrera. He grounded out to second.
Now, last night, we saw the debut of Matt Marksberry.
Yes.
We had never laid eyes on him before.
Yes.
I'm quite certain you guys hadn't either. And when he came in from the bullpen with his specs on, I mean, were you thinking Wild Thing?
Yeah,
what were you thinking?
The specs. It's a beautiful touch, especially on a left-hander. I think Ben, our head clubhouse manager, gave him some gray spray paint to take on the road for his pants. We're gonna have to work on that. But pounding the zone, not scared of anyone. Went right after those guys. Had some tough luck. And there's a platinum gold glover right there.
Johnny, you passed the audition, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did great.
What an opportunity. Can't wait to do it again.
Hey,
Thanks
we
a lot.
appreciate it. Get in the game, get a knock or two tonight.
How was it with my trivia? I need the answer.
We'll find out. We'll let you know.
Okay.
We'll pass it along.
You got it.
2-1 after 3.
go with him. I'll ride that.
I'm gonna split it up a little. I'm gonna go Adrian Gonzalez just to cover a National League player and see if we're right. And it was Big Papi, David Ortiz.
Johnny is 1 for 1.
So hopefully our camera person down there could pass along the information that he's the first Braves player on the board in trivia in the win column in 2015. Johnny's a great guy, and I hope he's back next year. I hope he's with us the rest of this year. There is an option on his services based upon a lot of vesting opportunities. Don't know if he'll get to those, but if you are a believer in character being important for your ball club, everyone you talk to with regards to Johnny Gomes, and we did with Marty Brennaman in Cincinnati, the Boston Red Sox, they tell you when that guy's in your ball club's organization, clubhouse, whatever you want to use, he's a winning type player.
And that's what people want to know about you from the get-go. Are you concerned about your stats? Or are you concerned about the win-loss column? What comes first to you?
Foul at the plate. Knocked Jace Peterson to an E. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Braves in the middle of the second time through the order against young Aaron Nola, 22-year-old kid from LSU.
And he's from Baton Rouge.
Full count. Sharply hit to second. Cesar Hernandez has it.
There's a good target by Rupp there. He was kind of emphasizing to Nola that I want this pitch to be a strike, but I want it down. He was really making his glove obvious to keep it down, and he put it right there, got the out.
Andrelton grounded out to second his first time. 5 assists for Cesar Hernandez already in the game. And a good breaking ball has Simmons behind, strike 1. Washington leads tonight 2-0. That game's in the 3rd inning. The Nationals leading Jacob deGrom. They'll play again in New York tomorrow night. Fly ball toward right. Dominic Brown retreats, plenty of room. 2 outs. What an emotional game it was last night. What an emotional 48, 72 hours it was for Wilmer Flores.
Fitting, wasn't it?
Yeah. Broken-hearted, in tears on the field, believing he had been traded to the Milwaukee Brewers. That didn't happen, quite obviously. And then last night in extra innings, a walk-off home run to beat the Nationals in Game 1 of that series. And almost overnight, Wilmer Flores, who was roundly criticized by Mets fans for his defensive issues, has become maybe their most popular player right now.
They learned how much he loves the Mets, and that was about all it took to offset those questions about his defense, because he can hit. We know he can hit. And he's got some pop in his bat.
No balls, 2 strikes. Nola ready for pitch number 70. And that's fouled off the catcher. Fly ball again toward Brown in right, and he's got it. Paul Burt is with us from Philadelphia as well. He is in midseason form. He's been training for this game. Wait till you see what Paul Bird's got in store for us as he climbs the steps toward the Rockies statue here in Philly. Hall of Fame weekend. This weekend, it was the same for the Phillies, and our own Paul Bird was honored before the game tonight. Very nice ceremony yesterday, and once again tonight. Paul, that had to be a thrill for you, not only to meet the fanatic, but a chance to see some of your old pals in Phillies colors here in Citizens Bank.
It really was great turnout. I can't believe how quickly the years go by. But you gain a few pounds, you put on some glasses, and then everybody goes, "Who's that guy?" So I had to put a jersey on, Bird on the back, and then everybody gives you a big hug. It was great to see all the former players, and man, just what a blast.
They probably thought you were Marlin and wondered what happened to you.
How'd you like pitching here?
Well, I enjoyed it. I pitched in the old vet, and I got my chance here.
That ball is hammered towards center field and deep, and that one's high off the wall. Franco just missed a homer, and he's in scoring position to start the fourth. If he pulls it a couple of feet to the left, it's a homer.
I can't believe it stayed in the yard. Fastball. He was all over it. A leadoff double led to their first run in the first inning. Oh boy, just a few inches more.
That's a homer at the vet, isn't it, Paul?
That is a homer. That's one of those where this field happened to keep it in, but yeah, the vet, different dimensions, and the turf was really hard to play on the vet because it was carpet over top of concrete. So much nicer field, little shorter porch in right and left, but in center here you got to hit it.
Fouled away by Ryan Howard. Paul, the reputation of Phillies fans is very tough, can be downright cruel and mean, whatever term you want to use, when things are going badly. But when things are going good, these guys are incredibly passionate, incredibly knowledgeable too.
There's nobody better, and what I mean by that is they are really tough. They booed Santa Claus, they booed Elvis, and even Darren Dalton was having a bad year. And this is
base hit by Ryan Howard. Franco held up for a moment. They're going to wave him. Maben loads up. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's going to be up the line, and Ryan Howard has tied the game with his second hit of the night. Howard does it again.
The Braves have got to help Cameron straighten out his steps on his throwing, because he kills all the momentum he has when he comes in to charge a ball and field it. And this was a case in point here. When you step to throw, watch his right foot go behind his body back there. It kills all momentum, and it causes a long arm action, and it causes your throw to tail. And this one tailed up the line. They got to fix that.
Boy, John Miserock, the third base coach, had Franco coming around third, and then he threw up the stop sign. But Franco sort of stutter stepped and was able to score on the bad throw. So it's 2-2. Howard was 6 RBIs in the series. And Dominic Brown, the batter, he bounced out his first time up. But Paul, you were saying the Phillies fans, tough?
I was, and I played in Boston and other areas, also played in New York. The fans demand a lot here, so they will boo you and let you know. But they also, when you're going well, they love you. And I remember when I had a good year in '99, made the All-Star team, and I would walk around the mall, and it was like Rocky. There was people, you know, kids following me, and everything was great, and they loved me. Then we had some rough years, and I got traded to Kansas City. And this is after the fans let me know they weren't happy about some of the rough years.
2 balls and a strike outside to Brown.
And so I went to Kansas City and I pitched against Randy Johnson my first game. And I came out of the game losing 3-1 in the 6th inning to a standing ovation. And I thought the Kansas City Royals fans were mocking me. And I got really upset. And somebody came over and they go, "No, that is sincere. They're welcoming you to the team. They loved the way you competed."
That's a nice story. 3-1 pitch is popped up left side. Simmons is over. He'll give way to Garcia. And Adonis makes the play for out number 1. Phillies fans you talked to, Paul, and I'm sure you have spoken to them. Are they excited now about the direction their franchise is taking now that the Cole Hamels and Jonathan Papelbon sagas have been taken care of?
They are, but there's also similar to Atlanta fans. You grow attached to Alex Wood, who's UGA, and you get to know him, and he's young, and so you start to think of Alex Wood with the Atlanta Braves. And the same thing here in Philadelphia. They think of Cole Hamels, losing Jimmy Rollins, things like that. So they understand what's going on, but they still miss those guys. And I see a pattern, a similarity between both these clubs right now.
Well, the guys that have taken over doing nice jobs, including this guy, Freddie Galvis. Popped up out of play. It's no balls, 2 strikes. And speaking of Cole Hamels, he's underway in Texas. Giants didn't score against him in the top of the first. Howard at first, 2-2 game, and this one's popped up. A.J. Przinsky in foul ground makes the catch. 2 out.
A couple of nice pitches for the pop-ups after a run was in and nobody out. You know, he's got a lot of walks and hits per innings pitched, does Matt Whistler, but he hasn't had any games where he's really been thumped. He pitches around it, makes good pitches when he needs to get a double play ball, for example. I really liked his presence on the mound and the fact that he doesn't panic.
Would it be something if Cole Hamels threw a no-hitter as an American League pitcher versus a National League team? Pull off a Johnny Vandermeer.
That would be some history.
Yeah. 3 balls, no strikes to Cody Ashe. Cameron Rupp, the catcher, waits on deck. Ryan Howard, 2 singles tonight, has 6 RBIs in the series. He's tied the game in the 4th. There's a bell-timed fastball, 3-1. Ashe's aboard. A 2-out free pass. That's first walk of the night. And here's Rupp, who was struck out to end the second inning. And a visit from Roger McDowell. Pitches piling up for Whistler here in the home fourth.
Yeah, that walk was one that Roger may not have been too excited about. And the reason for that is the runner at first is Ryan Howard. You've got to hit a triple to drive him in unless you hit it out of the ballpark. So by walking Ashe, who has a horrible mark against the Braves this year, you move Howard a little closer to home plate where he actually could score on a base hit.
Joe, you're right. Ashe 3 hits and 32 tries against the Braves, including a fly out tonight. Cameron Rupp, a third-round pick by the Phillies 5 years ago. He's a Texas Longhorn through and through. Lives in Plano, Texas in the offseason. And he just unloaded. Maben on the run. Still going back. Still going back. And that one is over the fence. A 3-run homer.
Franco couldn't do, he does do on a hanging breaking ball.
Oh, Whistler knew it, didn't he? The Longhorn with a long ball, and the Phillies have scored 4 in the fourth.
I was kind of wondering if a fan had reached over and caught that ball and dropped it without it going over the fence. Doesn't look like it's going to get a review.
So 5-2 Phillies in the fourth, and that's off the plate. Ball 1. That's something I do wish the ballparks with the close proximities for the fans would change. And it's especially difficult during day games when the fans are wearing the light colored shirts and the see-through fences, the guardrails atop the walls here in left and right field. You can't tell if the ball goes over cleanly. Why not make the fence covered by a tarp of some sort, just to help the umpires see if the ball actually goes over or hits off the top of the fence.
It's one of the nice things about Turner Field. Fans can't interfere with those home runs, and they've done it time and time again in right field here especially.
Two-two pitch, and that will end the inning. A 2-out walk to Cody Ashe, who was 3 for 32 against the Braves, was followed by a Cameron Rupp homer, and now the Phillies lead. 5-2 lead. Let's check out the Cameron Rupp homer that's turned the game around.
This fan looks like he's got his arms extended to try to catch the ball, and he's right on the railing, and then he pulls his hands back like to try to bring it back into his body. I mean, that's a fine line there as to whether or not the ball was going to drop against the railing had it not been for his hands, or if it was going to go in the seats. I'm really surprised Cameron wasn't pitching a little fit out there.
So Aaron Nola, after a shaky start, now pitches with a 3-run lead, and he's got his pitching opponent leading things off in the 5th. I know replay is still a work in progress. John Sherholtz, part of the committee that implemented the replay system, has talked about it being a 3-year rollout. Something I think is drastically needed for those boundary calls are foul pole cameras. I've been on the soapbox before, but have a pencil camera on the foul pole shooting down the line of the fences towards center, so you can give the umpires another look to see whether a fan reached over or not. From that angle, there's no way the umpires could get a good look.
No, and I think what Freddie was trying to get the umpires to do was do an umpire boundary look, which does not require his request.
Two balls, 2 strikes for Whistler, who struck out in the 2nd inning. Franco at 3rd. He's got it, and Whistler is out number 1. 6 in a row retired by the Phillies youngster. And here's Nick Markakis. Game began with a bang for the Braves right fielder. Nick Markakis with a home run into the Phillies bullpen to start the game. And Nola is getting the ball on the ground. That's usually a recipe for success anywhere you pitch.
Well, that was, I think, one of the things Rupp was trying to get him to do was make sure that he looked at the target, get it down there to the low target. It's paid dividends. It's almost like they're not worried too much about in and out right now.
That ball was down and in the dirt. 2 balls and a strike. The Phillies' next opponent will be the Dodgers. They beat the Angels today 3-1. Clayton Kershaw started and won. It'll be a big series for the Phillies. They will welcome back Jimmy Rollins. The Braves will be home against the Giants. The Dodgers at the moment a 2-game lead over San Francisco. And the Giants losing 2-0 now to Cole Hamels and the Rangers. That still sounds very strange to say.
It does. That 1 run for the Angels did not come off of Kershaw. His scoreless streak still intact. They're doing a good job of spoiling some good pitches down.
Markakis doing what he does, working the count, making Nola work. Little tapper. That is a foul ball. Boy, good work by Gabe Morales. He pounced from behind the catcher and had an excellent look at the third base line and where that baseball was.
Yeah, he got himself in position with the line. Good effort by the home plate umpire,
who worked 8 years as an amateur umpire before he even thought about umpiring school. And here he is in the big leagues. Broken bat. Nola to the bag from Ryan Howard. 2 outs. Another ground out. That's 9 of those in the game, and 7 straight have been set down. And here's Maben. He's grounded out twice. Mets are on the board. Lucas Duda has hit a home run. 2-1 Nationals in the bottom of the 4th inning in New York. One ball, no strikes. Sharply hit. Oh, what a pick by Hernandez at second. Phillies have found themselves a slick fielding middle infield defensive tandem, and they have showed that off all series long. Gorgeous play ends the inning. It's Phillies 5, Braves 2.
Price every day.
Big 4th inning for the Phillies, capped by Cameron Rupp's 3-run homer, has the Phillies in front by a 5-2 score. Let's check out our Coors Light cold hard facts. The Braves are rebuilding with young pitching.
31 pitchers, franchise record. They're closing in on the NL record of 36. And come September, they might have a shot at it.
31 of the Braves' 46 wins this year have come by starting pitchers 24 years of age or younger. Whistler's one of them. He's got 5 victories on the season, but trails tonight as he goes to work in the 5th inning against Cesar Hernandez. AJ blocked that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Little pop behind third, foul ball. Hernandez back to the plate.
As Johnny Gomes said, they're tough up the middle. They're making all the plays. They're getting a chance to play every day and switch hitting, so they're not susceptible to too many breaking balls that might eat them up. This guy's really doing a good job of putting the ball in play.
There's a sinking line drive speared by Andrelton Simmons, and Hernandez is the first out. One man away. Phillies do find themselves in a difficult spot, I guess, in this regard. You have franchise icon Chase Utley on the disabled list. He's going to come back at some time. A, does he play? And B, if so, where? I don't know if you can take out these two guys the way they're playing. I don't envy the Phillies that particular problem. Herrera trying to bunt, pulled the bat back.
Well, that decision should be made by who do you go forward with? Are you trying to get younger and get better and develop and in 2016 have your middle infield set, or do you stick with the guy that you had for years that is a fan favorite?
The potential logical decision would be to say, well, could Chase Utley play first base? Maybe he can, but the problem there is you still have Ryan Howard and all the money that's still owed Ryan Howard on his contract.
Well, not to mention the fact that Ryan Howard's got 18 homers and 60 RBIs. I don't know that they've got anybody that can step in and do that.
Upstairs. 3 balls, 1 strike. Yeah, Howard knocked in 95 last year, so if you rate Ryan Howard on offensive production for a team that was bad last year, he did a lot of damage, and so did this guy. Break out the tape measure, folks. That one's headed for the second deck. That ball was crushed. Odubel Herrera hits one into the second tank. 6-2 Phillies now in the 5th.
That was a long one. Inner third. And I mean, he got all of it. Well into the second deck.
2 homers allowed by Whistler. 4 Phillies extra base hits in the game. And they've extended their lead to 4 runs. It's 6-2.
That was not a fly ball.
There's another shot deep. This one in the corner and left, and off the fence, foul. And count even a ball and a strike. We're told the velocity of the baseball off the bat of Odubel Herrera was 106 miles an hour.
Can't call him O-double anymore. We have to adjust.
Well, a home run's technically a double-double. Count the bases. And his 30th extra base hit of the year. Little cue shot back to the hill. Whistler's got it and makes the play, 2 out. After all these years, the Braves still have not been able to find a solution on a consistent basis to take care of Ryan Howard. 6 RBIs in the first 3 games of the series. 1 more tonight. And he's got 2 more singles. 32 RBIs now in 34 games for the Phillies first baseman. And outside. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a good pitch.
And now bust him inside. Again, we talked about this getting in the road trip or into the homestand about pitching more inside, not letting hitters get extended, because that's what he likes to do.
Pitched him away. He hit it away. And that's a fair ball in the corner. Howard's going to chug to second. Here comes the throw. It's going to be late. Ryan Howard has a sliding double. Extra base hit number 632 for Ryan Howard. He's 2 away from Del Ennis for 5th place on the all-time Phillies list.
3 for 3 tonight. That makes him 6 for 9 in the series. And I would venture a guess that at least 5 of the hits have been on pitches middle away where he can get his arms extended. You have to make him aware inside. You got to pitch him up and in, try to get ahead in the count, and then get him to chase. So far, the Braves have not done that.
Dominic Brown 0 for 2. Popped out last time up. Strike 1. Brown has 14 hits in the last 9 games he's played. And this one popped into left. Perez, a late break. Still coming. Can't get there. Howard's coming home. Throw to the plate is going to be not in time. Howard got in.
I think AJ dropped the ball.
Brown with a blue pit. Howard scores from second to make it 7-2.
No man's land in between short and left. Andrelton did the right thing when he realized he wasn't going to catch it. Another excellent throw from Perez, but AJ lost the baseball. They had him.
So 4 in the 4th, 2 more in the 5th. And the Phillies have a 7-2 lead on 8 hits. And I think Freddie Gonzalez is going to ask for a challenge on this play.
Well, the question may be whether or not Ryan Howard actually touched the plate.
Because after AJ picked up the baseball, it looked like he tagged Howard with the ball in his bare hand. And so let's see what shows up on the replay.
So he got the ball. He re-tagged him, but I don't know if his hand ever got to the plate.
So the Braves are challenging the safe call at the plate. Fans are seeing the ball dropped by Przinsky.
Here we go. Watch his hand. Yeah, it appeared that he got the plate.
And the verdict is in. He is safe. So the Braves challenge, and the call stands. And that will be the end of the line for Matt Wisler. He'll depart, allowing 7 runs, 8 hits. And Dominic Brown, the man at first, is his responsibility. Matt Wisler had a lead, couldn't hold it. 7-2 Phillies leading the 5th.
AT&T UVerse, Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
Phillies 7-2 lead, bottom of the fifth inning. Joe Simpson chip carry from Philadelphia. This is David Artsma. David has done a very nice job in relief for the Braves. Look at that ERA.
And already his 21st appearance. First appearance in this series. He was in 2 games at Baltimore, 3 on the road trip without giving up a run. In fact, 4 total innings of 1 hit shutout ball.
Bet you didn't know this, but the Braves bullpen in July had their best month of any month this season as far as relief ERA is concerned. Ground ball in the first pitch. That's through for a hit. And there's that man again, Freddie Galvis, with his 18th hit against Braves pitching. Brown stops at second. Surprised he didn't get to second on the play at the plate. That saves Atlanta a run.
Yeah.
But the Braves relief corps in July, Joe, was 3.22 ERA. Far and away the best ERA as a group all year.
Well, we've been saying all along that once everybody settled into a role, everybody was kind of coming and going, and who's going to do this, who's going to be the setup guy in the 7th. Is it going to be Johnson? Is it going to be Avilan? Whomever it might be. When those guys settled into roles, things got a lot calmer down there.
Now, those 2 names you mentioned are members of the Dodgers, Avilan and Jim Johnson. So I don't want to use the term unsettled, but we don't know who's going to
go. We start a new month with some new faces, and we'll see how it all pans out. I don't know this for sure or for a fact, but I would guess that Arodys Vizcaíno will probably get first opportunity to get a save when that comes along.
Two on, 2 out. Artsman misses to Cody Ashe. Key sequence in the game was the base on balls. Whistler allowed Ashe in the 4th inning. The very next pitch was thrown to Cameron Rupp, and it ended up in the seats in center. It was a 3-run homer. That went all the way to the backstop. Runners move up 90 feet. And they're at second and third now. 3 balls and a strike.
Couldn't get over there to get in front of it.
The bases are loaded. Isn't what David had in mind, a hit and a walk. And here's Rupp again. This time with 3 runners aboard.
He had 7 RBIs on the year and got 3 on that one swing.
Strike. A long inning of rest for Aaron Nola. It's at 88 pitches through 5 innings. The Phillies bullpen's been busy this entire frame. And a swing and a miss. Retires the side. The Phillies cash in 2 more runs. They chase Matt Whistler as we head to the 6th. Earlier this evening, got some video of the Braves hosting their annual Game on the Green viewing party tonight. And we'd like to say hi to everybody watching the Braves at Swanee Town Center. Hope you're enjoying the broadcast from Citizens Bank Park, the score notwithstanding. We'll see if the Braves can make a comeback here in the 6th inning. Aaron Nola's night is over after 5 innings of 2-run ball, and Elvis has entered the building.
Yes, he has. Mr. Arahu is in his 30th game of the year. There are his numbers. That Game on the Green in Sewanee, always one of the highlights of the summer. Looked like they were having a nice night, although I'm sure it was quite warm there this evening, but hope you're enjoying the game.
You know, they've enjoyed Freddie Freeman's 2-for-2 night. He doubled and scored in the first, and a single to left. And it looks like Mr. Freeman's just about on time at the plate. It'll be fun to watch. Braves need a base runner. 8 straight were retired by Nola as he worked the minimum 5 innings and is in line for the win. Freeman launches toward left center field. Herrera back on the warning track at the fence is going to have just enough room. Long fly ball retires Freeman. 1 out.
Hit it a ton. Just to the wrong part of the ballpark. Do we ever get a tail of the tape on that home run Herrera hit, by the way?
I think they're still measuring. Ball 1. Rojo's been a strikeout man. He's averaged a strikeout per inning over the last 19 innings, covering 20 appearances for the Phillies.
Good fastball. Fastball slider.
And a shot to Howard. Ryan to his right, gloves that. 10 straight Braves have been set down, and 2 are out here in the 6th inning.
I'll tell you something, this Phillies infield has done a lot of that in the first 3 games of the series. Both the middle infielders, we've seen them put on a show. Franco made a nice diving catch last night, and that was a nice spear by Howard.
Garcia struck out twice, and a big swing has him behind here. 0-1. Rojo, another Venezuelan native, was originally signed by the Indians. The Phillies got him as a free agent last November. He's only 23. He's a big guy, 6'6", 215 pounds.
And only 23. That's impressive that they got him as a free agent.
Rojo unable to pitch in 2009 and 2010. Elbow issues, including Tommy John surgery, which cost him all of the 2010 year. Full count. We'll do it again. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Well, with the departure of Papelbon, Kim Giles is now their closer. That's going to kind of move everybody up deeper into the game that from a setup standpoint.
Out to second. Another ground ball out recorded by a Phillies pitcher tonight. That's 11 in total, and the Braves are out in order in the 6th. Pete Rose's streak wasn't the only great event in Braves history on this date. Let's go back to 1982 when the great Henry Aaron was inducted into the National Baseball Hall of Fame.
Just one of the many great moments we can relive this year over the 50 years of Atlanta Braves baseball.
Andres Blanco pinch hitting for Elvis Arrojo, and he drives one to right, and he's got a hit.
He's grimacing. I don't know if he hurt his hands on the base hit or what he did.
Fly ball in the next pitch to left. This one off the bat of Cesar Hernandez. Here he's got it. 1 on 1 out.
The other part of their bullpen is that Jake Diekman went in the deal with Cole Hamels to Texas, so that opens up another spot in their bullpen. When you think about a setup guy, Diekman was one of their left-handed setup guys, so 2 of their 3 finishers, I'll say, are gone. Opportunity for somebody to show what they can do.
Mark Gomez is getting ready. Phillies might work their bullpen tonight exactly the same way they did Thursday. It was Arrojo, Gomez, Garcia, then Giles. They hope they don't have to use Giles tonight because they have a 5-run lead. Herrera's home run, one of the longest I've seen in this park, way up into the second deck down the right field line. Way high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Just past 9 o'clock here in Philadelphia. Another will throw to first. Reds lead the Pirates in the 6th inning. That's 3-1 in Cincinnati. San Diego 5-2 over the Marlins in the 7th. Cubs 3-1 over the Brewers in the 6th. That game's at Miller Park. The strike. Washington leads the Mets 2-1, bottom 6. Colorado 4-1 over St. Louis, also in the 6th inning at their stadium. Not close. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Like AJ was set up for something down and in and scrambled just to get leather on that one.
Base it to left. Hits for the Phillies.
They had 11 last night and 12 in game 1.
So that's 34 in 3 games.
They're up and down their lineup. They got guys with 7, 8, 9 game hitting streaks that date back to the All-Star break where they've won 11 of 13. I don't think there's another team in baseball that's 11-2 since the break. I think they have the best record.
They do. The Giants were the next closest. But the Giants lost 6-3 yesterday. And that one way over the head of Michael Franco. 1 ball, no strikes. There's a bolt down the left field line. Fair ball up against the fence. Blanco scores. Herrera will stop at third. It's an RBI double. 2 RBIs for the Phillies third baseman.
Ball really jumps off his bat too. Fastball, no stride. This is all hands. Stayed back, turned on it. Good looking hitter.
Ryan Howard had 4 RBIs last night. He has 3 hits and 2 runs tonight. He has 11 career 4-hit games, something he's done twice against the Braves in his career, not surprisingly. And it's an 8-2 Phillies game. And the Braves will load him up. And they'll set things up for Dominic Brown. That's hard to believe. Only Ryan Howard's second intentional walk of the year.
Very surprising.
I got to go back and look at the book. There are times he'd have an intentional walk
a game.
Yeah, at least 2 in a series. Wow. So they're loaded for Dominic Brown. A sinker for a strike.
Yeah, needs a ground ball big time to keep this from turning into an ugly inning.
But he had a couple of those tonight. Phillies sent 7 to the plate in the 4th. 4 men scored. 8 came up in the 5th. 2 scored. Brown's the 6th hitter here in the 6th, and there's already 1 run in. Wow. 2006, Ryan Howard had 37 intentional walks. 2007, he had 35. He just picked up his 2nd of the year tonight. One ball, 2 strikes. Lashed out of play, foul. Well, what a lift it would be for the Phillies if Dominic Brown could revert to his all-star form of a couple of years ago. They have a real good thing going with Jeff Francoeur, who's been a platoon player and works mostly against left-handed pitchers.
Yeah, if Brown gets hot, the combo of those 2 guys would be very impressive. As Jeff, as you said, has been good.
Poke toward third. There's 1. Peterson the turn, but it's too late. Brown outran the baseball. A run is in to make it 9-2.
Getting down the line, earned himself an RBI.
Number 15. Got number 16 for Brown. He had one earlier tonight. So they're at first and third. Here's Galvis. Freddie's 1 for 3. And that's taken low. Freddie Galvis.
We're talking about him last night, walking out of the ballpark after his defensive display last night, and how we always talk about the great shortstops in the National League with our own Andrelton Simmons, Echeverria in Miami, Crawford.
And now he drives one a mile to right. Freddie Galvis has hit a 3-run homer.
And we said then maybe it's time to add Freddie Galvis to that list.
The Phillies have hit 3 home runs.
Straight fastball down the middle. A good run that Ardsma was on comes to an end tonight.
He surrenders 5 more runs in the 6th inning, and the Phillies have blown it open.
do this. The Georgia Lottery. And your local Toyota dealers. Let's go places.
Fans, baseball's playoff race is starting to get into high gear. Saturday, we've got a doubleheader starting with the Dodgers and Pirates. Then 7 Eastern, it's the Cardinals and Brewers in a game you can only see on Fox Sports 1. Coverage starts at 3:30 Eastern, only on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Too much going gone for the Phillies offense in this game. They've hit 3 homers. They have 7 extra base hits, and they have opened up a 10-run lead on the Braves in the 6th.
4th appearance for Ross Detweiler on the road trip. First 3 have been won in each city. He worked here 2 nights ago against the Phillies, an inning and 2/3, a hit, no runs, struck out 2.
Cody Ashe, the batter. He's walked twice and flied out once. It's 2-2. In the 7th, Peterson, Simmons, and Perez are coming up. Braves led this game 2-0 after the first half inning. It's been all Phillies since.
11 runs the last 3 innings.
And mercifully, the 6th comes to a close. 8 men come to the plate. 5 more score. Galvis with a big 3-run homer, and the Phillies are romping. In Atlanta, we want you to help select the most memorable moment in Braves history. Through the end of this regular season, Braves.com/A50 will feature a new memorable moment, and you'll be able to vote on every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Go to Braves.com/A50 and relive your favorite Atlanta Braves moments. This is Hector Neris. And he's got 10 runs to play with tonight.
I think he'll be safe, but you never know. He's been in 8 games Called up from Lehigh Valley. He's 1-0. Good numbers so far. Again, opportunity.
He's out of the Dominican Republic. Phillies signed him as an amateur free agent in April of 2010. So you're seeing, for many ball clubs, the importance of the international scouting and development. That has been a focus for John Hart, John Campolella, the entire Braves scouting department. Kind of very excited about the international draft slots that they were able to acquire. They have used some of those slots to sign some very promising players, they believe. They will continue to be active, we're told, in the international market, especially next season. One-two pitch for Jace Peterson, and he's retired. Twelve straight Braves have been set down. Here's Simmons. Andrelton's 0 for 2.
Braves have 5 hits tonight. 3 came in the first inning. Second inning hit by Perez. Third inning hit by Freeman. He was the last base runner to reach.
That ball backed up over a corner.
What was that?
I don't know.
You know, a Bugs Bunny changeup just going all over the place.
He throws hard too. 6'2", 214, just 25 years old.
One thing's for sure, he doesn't want you to see the baseball when it goes in the glove. He's got it hiding behind his hip and then slides it into the glove.
They go. He did not.
Changeup looks like a screwball.
Rupp couldn't hang on. $25,523 in Philly tonight. And a Tampa foul. It's still 2-2.
Third stint with the big league club for Neris. 27 games at Lehigh Valley. He was 1-3 with a 3.62 ERA.
Strike 3.
Change-ups, and then 95 with a little backup.
And Yuri Perez, the batter, he's got a single and a stolen base. He's 1 for 2. If Yuri reaches, Pedro Siriaco's grabbed the bat. He'll hit next. And a ground ball is through for a base hit. So that's the first Atlanta hit since the third inning. And it will bring Siriaco up with 2 outs.
Yuri seems to be able to hit the guys that no one else can. I mean, ripped a base hit off Giles the other night. They went right back at him. You know, this guy throwing 95 with a good changeup. He takes him to right field.
Low and in, ball one. Mets have tied the Nationals in the bottom of the 7th inning. They have chased Joe Ross. That's 2-2 now at Citi Field. And New York is still batting.
Might see Siriaco stay in the game like he did last night. Get one of the regulars or a couple of regulars out and let them rest up for the day game tomorrow.
Sharply hit, but right to the shortstop, and that will retire the side. 7th inning stretch in Philly. All fightings tonight. John Smoltz Hall of Fame bobblehead night. Friday, August 14th against the Diamondbacks. Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines present that great giveaway. The first 20,000 guests at Turner Field get a bobblehead featuring the newly elected Hall of Famer. And a first ballot Hall of Famer at that. John Smoltz. Get your tickets today by visiting Braves.com/tickets.
Think about that. There's Jason Frazier. He's into pitch. Think about Glavine, Maddox, and Smoltz all in on the first ballot. I mean, it's not like they were, okay, yeah, they're going to be Hall of Famers, but we're not going to vote for them this year. We're going to vote for these other guys, and then they'll get in. I mean, look at the class that went in this year. Randy Johnson and Pedro Martinez, those guys were locked, so you can see how the vote might have been split a little bit.
Right.
Craig Biggio, certainly 3,000-plus hits. He's warranted. And Smoltz, 4 guys got in, and Smoltz got in on that, too. First ballot, all of them.
Amazing.
Automatic.
Automatic. I mean, not even a consideration. And obviously, we're biased. We love John as a person, as a colleague, and as a Brave. But I'm sure you read the clips too over the years. Well, I don't know if John Smoltz should get in on the first ballot or not. He doesn't have 300 wins. He doesn't have 500 saves. Yada yada yada. That's where I think the simple reliance on numbers to gauge a guy's performance are so misleading. Can you think of a better big game pitcher in Braves history than John Smoltz, with all due respect to Tom Glavine in the World Series Game 6?
No, he had the major league record for most wins in the postseason until Andy Pettitte broke it, I think. So no.
And then his ability, as Frazier delivers a strike to Cameron Rupp. John would be the first to tell you there were nights where he had absolutely nothing when he went to the mound. But he would invent stuff on the fly and make it work. So can't wait to talk to John about what had to be ginormous butterflies in Cooperstown. And I'm sure there will be a fantastic Fox Sports produced driven episode on John's induction into the Hall of Fame at some point for you. 1-2 pitch. Ground ball to second. And that'll be the first down. We began our broadcast talking about some of the youngsters down on the farm. And we've got a couple of more names we want to take a look at tonight. And these are the subjects of our Lowe's Never Stop Improving feature.
Terrell Jenkins came from the Cardinals in the Jason Hayward trade. He started in AA. Now he's in AAA. And tonight against Durham, another good outing. 6 innings, just 1 run and 8 strikeouts. He's been racking those up. And Pookie Toussaint, 6 innings tonight for Rome, 1 run. He gave up 2 hits. I wish Tukey pitched every night.
You just like saying Tukey, don't you?
Yeah, just like saying Tukey.
And we're told that both Gwinnett and Rome won their games tonight. So that's
good.
Good. You know what? That's worth talking about, too. The Braves minor league coaching staffs really do remarkable work. As this one is hammered to deep center by Darren Ruff. But Maben's going to have room shy of the track. And there's the second out. We're not operating under any delusions that some of these youngsters that are coming up from Gwinnett are going to end up in the Hall of Fame like John Smoltz. But I will tell you, my impression, Joe, is that the job that Brian Snitker has done in polishing what he has and what they are, to have them ready to step in and be contributors here is really, really impressive.
I'm wondering who's got on his team now. We need to see a Gwinnett roster because they've been ransacked by the big club.
But through all that, Gwinnett, with their win tonight, is 4 games over 500 at 55-51. Mississippi is 4 games over 500 in the second half of the year. Carolina 2 over. Rome was 8 under in the first half. They're 9 under in the second half. And the Danville Braves 2 under in the Appalachian Rookie League.
Well, this is not casting any aspersions over Bo Porter. He does a great job at third base. He's a tremendous addition to the staff. But for Brian Snitker to have been sent back to Gwinnett to manage was a miscarriage of justice. That was awful. He ought to still be on this staff. But he, like any good soldier, did what he was asked, and he's done a great job there.
It's a base hit for Cesar Hernandez. 2 more hits for him tonight. First against Frazier. And here's Odubel Herrera. And by the way, Joe, Gretchen just told me that Peter Moylan had a scoreless inning tonight and has pitched scoreless baseball in 10 of his last appearances.
Good. See, he was on the DL there for a little bit.
Away at the plate.
That would be a great story to see him make it all the way back.
A couple of Tommy John surgeries. Peter got in great shape. I think he lost 40 pounds since we last saw him in the major leagues. You talk about another great guy for your locker room. That's certainly in the resume of right-handed Peter Moylan.
I kind of think he and Johnny Gomes would hit it off.
Oh my gosh,
Nate.
No balls, 2 strikes. They can have a 6-day conversation on the tattoos alone.
Oh my goodness, I hadn't thought of that. Terrell Jenkins, though, you know, it seems to me he got off to a little bit of a slow start at Mississippi, but he hadn't pitched that much coming into this season. Not for any great length of time after he was shut down by the Cardinals, so he is on a fast track.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And again, as hard as it is now, as we have difficult times ahead of us over the final 2 months, everybody remembers the 14-year divisional title spurt. Very few go back and think about how things were in the Braves organization in the late 80s. Not a don't think anyone's suggesting that the Braves are going back that far. But to take a step forward, sometimes you got to take a step back. The Braves are going young. They are going to build with arms, just like when Bobby Cox was the general manager. Let's not forget, Bobby was wrong. He said it's going to be a 5-year plan. It took 6. The Braves feel confident this retooling won't take as long. Little pop. Simmons on a dead sprint. Looking over his shoulder. Couldn't get it. Great effort.
What's the score?
Yeah, 12-2. Exactly right. Might have hurt his thumb on that play.
Hope not. (12-2). He gave every effort to make that catch with a diving effort. And came that close. And then he didn't even want anybody else to get the baseball. I got it. I'll take care of this. Like his throwing hand may have jammed it into the turf.
But obviously, what a great lesson. If one of your team's best players is playing like that in a game like this, you know everybody else will too.
Well, we said last week when they put an embargo on his swings in the cage under the stadium that if an ounce of his effort and want to rubbed off on anybody, it'd be tremendous.
Still looking at that right thumb.
Yeah, I hope they don't hit a ball to him.
Two doubles, 2 runs, and RBI for Franco, and he takes a strike. I don't like the looks of that.
No.
See if Jason can finish off the inning here. A couple of 2-out hits. And popped out of play. Bouncing ball, nice pick, and the sprint to the bag will send our game to the 8th. Top of the order is up for Atlanta, 12-2 Phillies.
Freddie Freeman hit his first home run in this park. He also hit his 100th last night. And I said, hey, what is your favorite one in between? And he had to say this. September 25th, 2012, first career walk-off home run to give the Braves a 4-3 win over the Marlins to clinch a playoff berth. He was tackled, said they put mud on his hair, champagne in the locker rooms. That one's going to be tough to beat.
Did you see who was holding the pile back at the plate? Old Chipper.
A lot of faces there that aren't here now.
Yeah.
Freddie's maybe the only one.
Nick Markakis led off with a home run. Things looked great in the first inning. The Braves led 2-0. You figured, all right, Whistler's got this one under control, but gave up the first inning run. And the Phillies exploded for 4 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, and have not looked back.
Well, he actually, after he gave up that run in the first inning, he retired him in order in the second and the third inning. But a leadoff double by Franco in the fourth is what got things rolling for him.
Maben's 0 for 3. He went around. It's 0-2.
I don't know what that is. I still can't figure out what the grip is on that pitch that's just dying. I'm assuming it's a changeup, but is he throwing it like a screwball? Oh, it's a fork ball. There we go. Good camera work, guys. That one didn't sink and die like the ones before.
But it was good enough for the second out of the inning. And that'll bring up Freddie Freeman. Again, the Phillies will shift for him. One defender between second and third base for the Braves first baseman. He's doubled, scored, singled, and flied out. And he's going to ground out on the first pitch he sees. And that will retire the side. 3 up and 3 men down. Home 8th coming up. Georgia native Billy Currington will perform after the Braves take on the Marlins this Thursday night, August 6th, for a free post-game concert brought to you by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. Get your tickets now at braves.com/concerts. Daniel Castro has checked into the game for the Braves defensively in the 8th inning. As Simmons working on that thumb.
He's on his right hand, his throwing hand, when he made the diving effort. Watch his right hand. Lucky jammed his thumb right into the turf.
That's the last thing Atlanta needs, would be to have Simmons injured in any way, shape, or form. And so now, with a big lead for the Phillies, a chance for Vizcaíno to pitch in some late innings. And he will pitch the bottom of the 8th inning with Howard, Brown, and Galvis coming up.
Yeah, it's been 4 days since he's been out there, so he needs to work.
And a strike. And Ryan Howard trying to chase down his 12th career 4-hit game. He scored twice. He's knocked in a run and earned his 2nd intentional walk of the year. He's have trouble catching up to 98. Strike 3, couldn't pull the trigger. That was a nice sequence for Vizcaíno. 1 out.
Like a high strike call by Gabe Morales. PNC Bank box tracks, not even that high, really. Good start to his inning. And if he is going to be the closer at this point, then smart of him to maybe come in and treat this like a save situation with this part of the order.
Popped up left side near the tarp and out of reach.
Forget about the score, just think about the situation if it were a save situation and be amped up for it.
No balls, 2 strikes. Mets have just taken the lead. Lucas Duda had a hit against Matt Thornton. It's now 3-2 New York. That game is in the bottom of the 8th. If Duda starts hitting lefties again, boy, that'd be a big lift for Terry Collins' club. Mets win, they'll be a game out of first with a chance to tie the division tomorrow night. Braves will send Julio Teheran to the mound here in Philadelphia tomorrow afternoon. Adam Morgan will go for the Phillies. Bouncing ball to second. 2 out.
Morgan's another guy they like a lot. Got some young pitchers coming through the pipeline.
12 runs on 15 hits for the Phillies.
$11 runs on 11 hits in innings 4, 5, and 6.
18 hits is their season high. That came June 22nd when they played the Yankees.
Braves see the Yanks at Turner Field the end of the month.
1 ball, no strikes. The Yankees with a 6-game lead in the AL East over Baltimore and Toronto.
AJ's taking a couple of dings tonight, but that one. Direct hit.
One ball, one strike. And up and away. And time for our Toyota key play of the game. Freddie Galvis has done it all in this series.
A 3-run homer to cap their scoring in the 6th inning. His 5th of the year. Came into the game already hitting .415 against the Braves. 2 hits tonight.
And a swing and a miss. Retires the side. A season high in runs for the Phillies. They have 12. An impressive inning for Vizcaino, and we go to the ninth. Time highlights and pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players live or on demand on over 400 devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Get MLB.tv today. Hopefully Julio Teheran will have a great fantasy performance and a great reality performance on the road. He certainly could use one. The Braves need him to step up big and help the Braves avoid a 4-game sweep in Philadelphia.
Well, he needs to get that road monkey off his back, too. Boy, the road trip numbers are still just so awful. Against the lefty, Adam Morgan, 2-2 on the year, just starting his big league career. So hopefully the Braves can do some damage against him.
Stalier Hinojosa, saw him last night. Boston signed him as an international free agent after the 2013 season. The Phillies claimed him July 15th. Stalier Hinojosa out of Cuba. AJ fouls it straight back. It's 0-1.
AJ really slow getting back to the dugout, but able to get back up there and hit.
He's hurt.
Yeah, he is. Trying to hang in there, finish up the game. Braves have not scored more than 3 runs in any of the games on this road trip. Is that correct?
They've scored 3, but not more than.
Not more than 3.
Yep. This will be the 10th consecutive game of 3 runs or less, and the 12th of 15 overall. Fly ball down the left field line and out of play. The other road monkey is the Braves team.
Yeah.
If this one stays as it probably will, the Braves will drop their 13th out of 14 on the road.
Rupp wants it in the dirt.
And AJ went down and golfed it. He knew what was coming. He was thinking like a catcher. Smart man.
I think that ball was, it may have been right on the dirt.
And there's the first out. Fans, the Braves Clubhouse store at CNN Centers offering a gift with purchase for a limited time only. Buy $150 in Braves merchandise and get a free Braves Clubhouse store blanket tote while supplies last. Stop by the Braves Clubhouse store at CNN Center or call 404-523-5854 for more information. Ball high. Adonis Garcia 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. They go to the 9th in New York. Mets 3, Nationals 2. Game 2 of that series. Was rocketed off the catcher, Cameron Rupp.
Got his mask, I think. Ooh.
Just missed. Popped up. Hernandez at second says he's got it. And the Phillies are an out away. And Jace Peterson, also 0 for 3, will try to keep the game alive. Aaron Nola in line for his 2nd win. Matt Whistler in line for his 2nd loss. Phillies with a season high 12 runs, 15 hits, including 3 home runs.
I don't know if Jace will be in there tomorrow against the left-handed starter. He might well be, but Maven this road trip 7 for 40 and Peterson 5 for 30. So there may be some juggling tomorrow in the lineup. We'll see. But Cameron's really scuffling to get some hits, and especially extra base hits.
And the difficulty of the schedule is apparent for the Braves after this long road trip. Come right back home and play 7 games before we get an off day in Tampa Bay.
Well, they call it the dog days.
Ripped back foul, out of play.
But not the dog days for the Phillies. They're riding an offensive high right now.
Yes, they are. And what a turnaround. They were 18-49 in the first half. They're not away from a 12-2 run to begin the second half after the break. Popped him up, and Galvis at short drifts out. He says he has it, and he does. And the Phillies win handily tonight, 12-2 your final score. How ironic. They're also 12-2 since the All-Star break. 2-hour and 52-minute marathon saw the Phillies hit 3 homers. Braves will try to avoid a sweep here tomorrow when we wrap up this long and very rough road trip.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.